she was different, and she seemed to be more exciting. There's a lot of people that still think there's a lot of other. She's great for the sport. She's great for the game.
After Caitlin Clark's attack, the WNBA puts Angel Reese in her place because, shockingly, the sport emphasizes skill, performance, and integrity over petty showmanship, regardless of how many TikTok followers you amass.
But over the past couple of years, Angel Reese has allowed the disease of jealousy to destroy her career.
Angel Reese is employing outdated strategies to control the discourse with controversy as the league gets closer to expanding its actual fan base. But the WNBA is not taking it this time. Women's basketball doesn't usually provide more drama than a daytime soap opera, yet here we are.
Reese is the foil for Caitlin Clark and vice versa. Like, they don't have to get along, they don't have to like each other, they're competitors.
Two individuals, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, are transforming the WNBA into a reality show with egregious arguments and outbursts on social media.
Because we're a bunch of doofuses and things like that, but like, this is the golden goose. This is the one. This is the generational, multi-generational player, and we're incredibly lucky that she's in Indianapolis, and she went fucking ham in the opener against the Chicago.
When the Fever defeated the Chicago Sky last weekend, it wasn't just a game, it was a show, with Clark and Reese squarely battling in the center to get everyone talking. The question is, though, did the WNBA just announce whose team it supports?
There's no argument. Like, I don't understand. Like, people can yell until they're blue in the face. Like, the proof's in the pudding. We've seen all the stuff. And you say, like, it is good for the sport at large, but I think a lot of people get turned on. Like, it just always goes into a race thing, like, every single time.
In response to Clark's contentious outburst, Reese went full drama queen, enraged and dramatic, and the raw rage erupted on social media like wildfire.
But over the past couple of years, Angel Reese has allowed the disease of jealousy to destroy her career.
Words flew, presumably because it was too spicy for television, and the incident erupted until Aaliyah Boston of Fever had to intervene to calm things down. But by then, the damage had already been done.
This is the reason the WNBA is investigating fake racism directed at Angel Reese. The diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelberg, she has no problem looking into fake race.
There is a loud enough hush in the league to cause people to raise their eyebrows.
How in the hell is it unsafe for Angel Reese to play in Indiana? The only safety concern I see, every time she plays in Indiana, the Chicago Bravado, they get their ass kicked.
Media personalities stepped into the conflagration with their passionate thoughts on who was right or wrong or just obnoxious, and the fallout was immediate.
She was different, and she seemed to be more exciting than everybody else, but she also was an incredible passer and like disher, and the way she went about her business, it was like, oh, this girl's different.
Let's face it, this isn't just about a bird. It's about two players with diametrically opposed personalities facing off in the most visible manner possible. Clark is the cool, collected killer who lets her game do the talking while emptying her threes like a machine.
She became addicted to the attention. She became addicted to the notoriety.
Can the WNBA truly support one without alienating the other? Reese, the self-styled adversary, is known for her drama and shade. One enhances the game, while the other makes noise.
Pisses off everybody whenever we say it, and then obviously it becomes a whole thing because we're a bunch of doofuses and things like that, but like, this is the golden goose. This is the one. This is the generational, multi-generational player.
The juicy part is here. Not only are Clark's figures impressive, they are historic. The game attracted an average of 2.7 million spectators, with a peak of 3.1 million.
Higher than it's ever been for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Congrats to Caitlin Clark.
That's right.
Nice.
It's crazy how it's always the Fever.
To all WNBA skeptics, these aren't just statistics, they're permitted. So why does the league continue to emphasize the drama rather than the record? Shattering genius.
For the love of God, get this young woman off of social media. Someone needs to take away her phone, take away her laptop. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they were the biggest stars in women's basketball. Hell, you can make the case that they were two of the biggest stars in all of basketball.
However, Reese's antics continue to steal the show. Every small disagreement is examined, shared, and magnified as Clark subtly changes the guidelines for what it means to be a basketball phenomenon. Ree portrays the most divisive figure in the league.
So it's damn sure unsafe for her win-loss record.
The media that they fabricate, is it purposeful for Reese to portray Clark's supremacy as arrogance while using his theatricals as enthusiasm? enthusiasm, or is the league simply being played?
And the situation at hand is that when Angel Reese walks in to the Indiana Fever Arena, she is no longer safe. She is not safe because there are some Indiana Fever fans who are racist.
Fans, however, can see beyond the clutter of social media receipts and highlight clips. Clark's cool composure and astounding talent capture hearts and redefine power. Reese's antics are beginning to seem more like overcompensation than confidence. How long can the WNBA continue to experience drama before collapsing?
Reese is the foil for Caitlin Clark and vice versa. Like, they don't have to get along. They don't have to like each other. They're competitors. Like, that, this kind of shit happens. But every single time something like this happens, and we have to go right back to
full on.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't get moved at all. So, like, we're not talking about the game. We're talking about that play.
However, let's zoom out. Although opponents contend that the WNBA is only concerned with one game and not the league as a whole, Rhea is more interested in igniting controversy than creating a lasting legacy. Can the WNBA afford to allow drama overshadow the game? Clark versus Rhea is more than just a player rivalry. It's a battle of visions for the league's future.
She has surpassed everybody in the amount of time that she has played in the WNBA. She fills up every arena in every town that she goes to.
Don't take my word for it. Anonymous general managers from all around the league acknowledge that if I'm starting a club, I start with Clark. That's right, the icy sniper draining impossible threes. Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's rewriting the playbook. How is this still a fair contest in the WNBA's eyes when Clark is creating history and Rhea is still having trouble with free throws? The difference is obvious, but who needs fundamentals when you're trash talking and giving people the side eye?
You can say whatever you want, but it's very obvious. And I think even the WNBA as like a whole, like their front league office, I guess, if you will, like they might not publicly,
They have publicly though. They said, hey, all these games are primetime.
Yeah, exactly.
WNBA, all the Fever's games are primetime.
They got more primetime games than the late.
The kicker is this. The league's old guard clings to tradition like basketball's dusty museum piece because they fear Clark's dominant, unbothered superstar vibe because it upends their cozy system and makes some people uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Clark is breaking the mold and changing the way women's basketball is played and watched. So why let Reese's antics take center stage from the true game changer? After all, if the league can't see who is carrying it forward, what good is it to talk about Rhea? Time hasn't been kind to her like it has to Clark. Every game at Clark's basketball master courses is a symphony of talent and elegance. Somewhere, Rhea's flop reel could go viral. Remember how Rhea twisted a nice gesture from Clark helping her up after a fall into a WWE drama? The contrast between Reese's antics and Clark's post-game composure was striking. Fans are aware of the winner of that battle, but in this primetime matchup, who appears to be the champion and who is the sideshow?
And I had somebody tweet me this the other day before we talked about Caitlin's debut. You better talk about the biggest star in Indianapolis this year or whatever. And it's like, I'm not good at talking about I don't know enough about the WNBA to talk about it, but I do know enough about business. I do know enough about a superstar, and Caitlin Clark is both of those things.
Attendance at Clark's games breaks attendance records. Ironically, Clark is the one luring viewers in and converting non-fans into deards, while Reese's plot is lost in translation and absorbed by the cacophony she produces, prefers Instagram. Moments to a long-lasting legal legacy. The supporters have expressed their desire for Clark to be their star. Rhea is merely the diversion, but how long before Clark abandons Rhea and the WNBA since the league is concentrating on the distraction?
Teams have to go to bigger arenas so that they can try to profit off the Caitlin Clark train coming to town. Most 20-point 10-assist games in WNBA history, which I think you could say that's a good game. Like that's how you classify. Vandersloot, obviously, 430 games played, had 10 of them. Diana Taurasi, people talk about it as the GOAT, right?
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
You're damn right.
564. Where'd she go to school?
UConn.
Okay. 565 games played. She has 9 20-point 10-assist games. And then Caitlin Clark, 41 games played.
We must be honest, Caitlin. If Clark is the future and Rhea is stuck in the past, then who is the league's biggest issue? Clark is essentially the Steph Curry of women's basketball, shooting from the parking lot and making it look easy. But it's not just the shot. It's her ability to change the entire game, making the WNBA exciting like never before. Her fan base isn't casual. They're devoted and ready to rally behind her. Rhea is still coming up with the next Instagram caption as Clark transforms the sport.
fever, and what she has done for this city and for this team is unbelievable.
The league needs this star power, but oddly allows the circus around Reed to dominate headlines. Clark's game isn't just winning games, it's drawing attention from people all over the world and making skeptics pay note. She's attracting new audiences. Who wouldn't have cared about women's basketball before? Why is the WNBA still playing referee Teresa's drama instead of supporting Clark's talent? If the league wants to expand, it must stop fostering controversy and put Clark front and center. If it doesn't, the league runs the risk of turning into a reality show with basketball as the sideshow.
One has managed to keep her mouth shut, one has remained focused on basketball, while the other is making cameos and doofus rap videos. She's hosting a shitty podcast that no one is watching, where she interviews rappers that no one's ever heard of.
The bottom line is as follows. Since drama is winning right now, which is bad news for all sports fans, if the WNBA allows drama to dominate the narrative, who will be left to support the actual game? Caitlin Clark isn't just playing, she's changing the game. If the league has any common sense, it will support her rather than allow Angel Reese's antics to overshadow the league's future.
Are we really doing this again? Didn't we live through this exact same fantasy?
Although Reese is on TV as well, she primarily plays the antagonist in Clark's blockbuster story, the WNBA's Little Opera, but with trash talk instead of love triangles. The league is finally waking up, but it's still kind of Clark hogs the prime time spotlight because, well, money talks. The question is the league making the most of this attention or fumbling like rookies?
Where WNBA dump divers were complaining about the mythical racism in Indiana, here we are 12 months later. There has not been a single piece of evidence released proving these unsubstantiated claims.
It turns out that the WNBA still lacks marketing skills. Millions of people watch this drama and talent goldmine, yet the league ignores half the clues about how to keep them interested. It's like giving someone a winning lottery ticket and forgetting to scratch it. While the league debates whether Reese's role as the antagonist is too dramatic, Clark breaks records and gains fans. If the WNBA continues to make mistakes in promoting its best player to lead the league forward, Clark isn't a passing fad. Rather, she's rewriting the WNBA history books. The WNBA's growth depends on Clark, whether she admits it or not. Other players are merely attempting to catch up, so the real question is whether the league will crown Clark queen or pretend this story is about someone else. Fans arrive in droves, records fall, and standards soar, but we're still stuck in Clark's shadow, chasing a story beyond the typical antics. For more information regarding the Clark Reed controversy in a future WNBA season, like this video and subscribe to the channel.